Hello, good people of the internet. My name is Hexa. Welcome back to my channel for today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this simple red spotlight eye look. This is perfect for a Christmas party, New Year's Eve, or any kind of fun event, date night, what have you. But of course I chose red because I wanted to do something Christmassy, so let's dive right in and I hope you like the video. Starting off, I'm going in with my NYX HD concealer in the shade Alabaster to prime my eyes. If you have an eye primer or other concealer that you prefer using, go ahead and do that. And I'm just blending that out with my beauty blender. My beauty blender was a little bit too damp this time around, so I went in with my fingers afterwards to kind of just like tap it out. I didn't want the concealer to get too wet from the beauty blender. Diving into our first color, I'm using Game Over from the Sugar Pill Fun Size Mini Color Palette. I think this is such a beautiful red. It's really well formulated, and I actually prefer this red to Love Plus, which is probably one of their most iconic shades. I just feel that Love Plus can sometimes be a little bit too dry, and it also leans more pink, whereas Game Over is a little bit more orangey. So as far as Christmas shades go, I just felt like this was a more festive red. And I'm applying that with a small dome-shaped brush in the inner and outer corners of the eye. I'm using lots and lots of teeny tiny little tapping motions to just get that color really packed in there. Afterwards, I went in with a larger domed brush just to kind of diffuse the edges. Next, I'm taking the Natasha Denona Love palette and using the shade First just to kind of go around those edges. As you can see, I'm using a really big fluffy brush. This isn't intended for any precision really. I chose First because it's very close to my skin color, and I just wanted like a second eyeshadow to kind of blend with that red and make it kind of blend in seamlessly with the skin. I did lose some of the pigmentation in that red in the process of blending out the edges, so I kind of went back and forth between Game Over and First until I got it looking the way I wanted it to look. Then I'm going back in with my concealer on that middle bit just to get it tacky again and lay down the base for the shimmery shade. For the shimmer shade, I'm going in with this beautiful Dose of Colors palette in collaboration with Desi and Katie. It's called the Friendcation palette. I'm not sure if it's still available. I don't think so, but any kind of champagne shade or cool gold, warm gold, whatever you'd like would work. The shade I'm using is called A Moment. I couldn't really show you the palette very well because one of the shades in it is kind of shattered, so that's why I did a little bit of an awkward tilt trying to keep it flat. But as you can see, after applying that shimmer shade, again, I'm going back in with the red to make sure that it stays kind of pigmented and intense. A quick break to sort out my eyebrows because they were looking rough. Starting on the skin, I'm taking the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. This is a great primer if you really want that base to stick to your skin, and I knew that I would be using quite a lot of product on my skin today, so that's why I went for this. Next, I'm taking this green color correcting cream shade from a super old discontinued Tarte palette because I don't know what it is, but whenever I have any special event coming up, like whether it's like my birthday or vacation or Christmas, that is when the pimples start showing up. So I just went in with this green shade to kind of go over that redness and try to neutralize it a little bit. I'm not sure how effective it was, but we tried. And I'm using my fingers to blend it out just because it's more convenient and because the warmth of your fingers can help to blend it a little bit better. For foundation, I'm taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in the shade R210. I haven't used this foundation in ages, but I forgot how much I loved it. It's a really great medium to full coverage foundation, very buildable, very natural looking, but also matte. And honestly, I think this shade matches me really well. Sadly, there was only a tiny bit of this product left, so it was pretty much just my finishing the bottle final application of it. As you can see, I'm trying to cover all my bases and really get up into that hairline, and also never forget to apply a little bit of your foundation onto your ears as well and under your chin, just to make sure everything looks as seamless as possible. For concealer, I'm using the Zoeva Concealer Spectrum palette with this middle shade right here. I wanted to use this because it is a little bit thicker, and since I had that nasty pimple going on, I just wanted to try my best to cover it. So first I'm applying that with a brush, just trying to give the eyes a little bit of a lift. As you can see, I'm kind of tugging it out and up at the outer corner of the eyes, so that's why, just to make those eyes look lifted. And I also applied a little bit of this concealer on other spots of redness that I had around my face. Again, I used my fingers quite a lot for blending because this is a cream product and it was quite kind of cold and stiff when I applied it initially, so I really wanted to use the warmth of my fingers to help blend it in really, really well. Now setting that lightly with the RCMA translucent powder on a big fluffy brush. No baking here, just as light of a layer as I could get on there. Since my foundation was matte as well, I didn't want to end up looking too dry. Again, really struggling to show you guys this palette because of the one shade in it that is shattered, but the shade that I'm using here is Just a Kiss. It's this really beautiful rosy pink shift. Then for brows, going in with the Brow Spectrum palette by Zoeva and using this light cool brown shade. This is a great palette for makeup artists. It's got a lot of shades in there that could come in handy, and I really love using it for my brows. It's just so quick and easy just to fill them in lightly. Quick note, I would have set my brows with a clear brow gel, but I ran out, so that is why I didn't add that step. But if you have a clear brow gel, I would always recommend using it after applying a product like this. Starting on cheeks, I am using the Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced, and just applying that to my cheeks, my forehead, my jawline to warm up the face and give it some structure and shape. For blush, I went into my Lunatic Cosmetic Labs contour palette. This palette has so many shades, and I'm just using this kind of slightly cool dusty rose. I haven't used the blushes in this palette a whole ton, so I wasn't sure how it would go. I started off with a really light hand, but in the end I applied a lot more and just went for a super rosy cheeked look. I also added a little bit of blush to my nose just to give me that, I don't know, cutesy Christmas elf aesthetic, I guess. I set my face with the Dewy Set Setting Spray from Anastasia Beverly Hills. My face had dried up a little bit by this point from all the powder products, so I decided to go in with the setting spray before my highlighter to give it a tacky base to stick onto. For highlight, going in with the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit, again from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I used the shade Kitty Cat, which has this beautiful pink tone to it. I just thought it fit the other shades in this look so well and looked so cute. I don't use it as often, but it is really, really pretty nonetheless. Then just quickly applying my Buxom Lash Mascara. Now for lips. We had a lot of trial and error with this look. The first option I tried was using the NYX Slide On Glide On Lip Pencil in Urban Cafe, and I used that in combination with the Latte lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this lip combination as a whole. I think it is so cool and so beautiful, but it really didn't work with this look. It was way colder than I thought it would be. I didn't realize that Latte was such a cool brown, and I don't know, it just looked too grungy and yeah, cool toned for what I was going for. Next, as you can see, I tried a few options and finally decided to try out Still Crazy from ColourPop. This is a really beautiful lipstick. I normally really like it, but as you can see right from the start, I was kind of starting to question my choice, but you know, I committed to it, applied it fully to my lips, but finally realized that this wasn't really working with the look either. I'm not really sure what it is about this one. Maybe it was a little too purple or a little too pink. it was just a little too something, and it just didn't go well with the eyes. So I scrapped Still Crazy and started again. For my final and successful attempt, I used the Bed Rose lip liner from NYX. This shade is super, super close to my natural lip color, which was really what I think this look needed, was just a very natural lip. I didn't need anything too intense. Then for lipstick, I went in with this discontinued lip palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am so sad that they don't make this anymore because it has some beautiful shades in there, and it's just amazing. I love being able to just look at this palette and see all the colors and choose something that I think will work perfectly with what I'm going for. But I guess it's not the most consumer-friendly product. It's great for makeup artists, but if you're, on the go, you're not going to want to take a whole lip palette with you, so that's probably why they don't sell it anymore. Then I went over that lip combo with the over-the-top gloss from Dose of Colors. I think this was in collaboration with either Desi and Katie or I Love Sarai. They don't make this anymore, but it's just a simple gloss with a lot of golden glitter in it. I didn't use a lot, but I just wanted to give the lips a little bit of a shine. And there we have it. That is the look. I hope you guys like it. I really, really love the eyes, the combo of the gold with the red. It's just so festive, but it's also simple and yeah, not really hard to do, honestly. And you can switch out the colors of the eyeshadow for anything you want and get a really beautiful effect in a really short amount of time. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!